Hi everyone, my name is Courtney. I am Fiber Fox Studios and welcome to a talking video. I am going to share finished projects, some WIPs, and I will give you a little channel update on what to expect. I'm going to kick it off with the finished objects part of this. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you are new here, thank you, welcome. If you are returning, thank you, and also welcome, and let's get started. Okay, so some of you already know about this because you are big fans of the Etsy shop and you follow it on Etsy, so when I put in a new pattern, you should get a notice. So thank you to those of you who have already grabbed up your copy, but this is pattern number 53, which is also called my Boho Blanket, or Boho Blanket, the Boho Blanket. It's Boho Blanket. Did y'all really miss me? Like, really think about it now. In this moment. I bet you didn't. Not quite as much as you thought, right? Okay, so as you can see, a few oddly placed pictures later. It's a throw. I don't finish a lot of blankets. I know a lot of people think that I do. Those samples are sample size. They just look bigger in the pictures. It looks like a full-size blanket. Totally is not. So I rarely ever get to do blankets. But this time I decided I would finally, since I haven't been filming tutorials, I would finally start this pattern, which I designed a year and a half, 2 years ago probably by now. And I had backburnered it because the pattern it's large. So the multiple on this one is a 46 plus 4. And we have 70 rows that you have to do in the repeat. So it's a lot. And with it being a multiple of 46, it's not YouTube friendly, this particular design. It is just far too large. It would take far too much time in multiple videos. I'm not a fan of multiple videos for something like this. Like my weekly patterns that I was doing, I really wanted those to be in one video. It can be hard to find the other parts. Like, I know that not everybody is the same on their navigation skills on YouTube. So I get it, and I don't like to have to do multiple parts unless it makes sense. So with something like this, I don't feel like it makes sense. It's a huge undertaking. I really think it would take me I think the edited cut rows, the actual row instruction, I think it would be like 15-20 minutes long. I'm not kidding. Just per row. Could you imagine having to listen to me for that long? So I've released it in the Etsy shop. I didn't do a post or anything. I haven't made any announcements. I didn't do a video. Did absolutely nothing to let anyone know that A, I was even doing a blanket, or B, that I was going to release the actual pattern. So it is a chart like normal, but it has your written row repeats, and then it actually has all the information, yarn information, yardage, and everything for the blanket. So I give you all the specs and details, measurements, and all that stuff for this throw blanket size. And then of course you have the information there if you want to make it bigger or smaller, or whatever you would like to do. This blanket that I'm holding up for you guys is 3 repeats wide on the design. So if you could imagine, like right here to here, 3 repeats is all it was to get the width of my project. And then it was 3 repeats tall, 2, I believe. So it's that big of a chart. It's that big of a design. It's a huge one. So when I had done this, I backburnered it because I knew I wasn't going to be able to use it for YouTube. And at the time, keeping that weekly schedule up, I needed every single thing that I was putting a lot of time into. it had to be something that I could use on the channel. This was just, you know, it wasn't going to be it. I knew I would not be able to film something like that. Didn't want to even attempt to film something like that. So this would be a WIP. And the center part in red and white, that is the actual pattern that is being released. So this center, that is pattern number 54. So Boho Blanket is number 53. And this one is number 54. And it's just a multiple of 26 plus 4. We got our classic train in the background. We love that. It's not a Fiber Fox Studios video without the train. But yeah, so it is not a huge pattern. I think it's like 30 rows tall, multiple of 26 plus 4. So I will, when I have more time, I will film this. It'll probably be a 2-3 hour long tutorial once I'm done with it. So it will come at some point. I cannot give you an exact date. I explain more of that later in the video. Moving on. The next thing is another WIP. And that is, this is a throw pillow that I'm finally working on for myself. This is a new design. It's going to be pattern number 55. Very, very simple design. This one is going to be the next tutorial, this design. I'm going to do it in my classic tutorial style that I use, where we work flat, but I give you the instruction for flat and in the round. It is only a multiple of 4 with 12 rows in the, you know, repeat. So, so easy. I really, 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 really needed something just like easy to do my first pillow. I didn't want to be having to hang at the computer, you know, reading the chart or the row, you know, written row part. I didn't want to have to do 26 stitches per repeat. I wanted something super simple. So I whipped this up actually the other night so that I could start this. My favorite thing about this is the fact that I'm using the zipper. I started zipper. I guess I'm going zipper down or zipper up. It's a pillow, so the zipper's going to be at the bottom. But you could easily make this into a purse. So simple to do that. I wanted to show y'all the zipper that I got. This technique, there is a video for little bags that includes instruction on how you can take a plain, regular, run-of-the-mill zipper and sew or make, you know, your stitches on there so that you can begin to crochet directly onto the zipper. I will link that video down below for those of you that may not know what I'm talking about. It's not mine, it's another creator, but she shows how to do that, is my understanding. I haven't personally watched the video, but a lot of people have told me about it and the technique. So I trust them, and I'm sure she shows you. So I didn't need that instruction because I found a zipper that already has these little eyelets on there. Absolutely love this zipper, and what I love even more is the price of it. It is priced, it's a Yarnology 14-inch zipper, and it is metal. The price is $2.49. And if you have gone shopping for a zipper, like at Joann's or, you know, one of the fabric type stores, zippers are crazy expensive. I had no idea. I started like thinking I need to rip zippers out of clothes. I need to go to one of those like clothes where you can like buy by the pound, like thrift by the pound, and buy, you know, a bunch of pants and remove zippers when I saw how expensive zippers were. But this one, I paid even less for. It was on one of the clearance racks at the Hobby Lobby. But any type of zipper like this with the eyelets, you are able to just work directly on here. I did a slip stitch in the first set where there's the 2 holes down here. Get a little closer. So in the lower 2 holes closest to the zipper, that is where I did my slip stitch in my yarn. I used like a 3.25 crochet hook, I believe. But, you know, you don't want to try to ram anything big through there. It's going to be a small crochet hook to do your slip stitch. And then I slip stitched on, and then I was able to do my single crochet round and jump right into working the pattern. Now when I do the tutorial, I won't work it in the round because it's easier for people to omit instruction than to add instruction, like visually. Than for me to do in the round, and people to have to try to visualize and understand what I'm giving them instruction wise to do if they're trying to work a flat project from a tutorial where I'm working in the round and closing rounds instead of ending rows. So that's, you know, it's just the easiest for everybody for me to do it that way. It definitely makes the most sense to me. So I will do a flat tutorial, but you will be able to make a pillow or a purse or whatever you want out of this pattern. And because it's so small with the multiple of 4 and it only has 12 rows. So where I have this first stitch marker right there, that's my next row 3. So this is where I'm starting my second full repeat of the design to grow the project. It being right here to here is essentially how wide of a pattern it is. So you could use this as a border and it would make a cute border, and then you'd have 12 rows. Well, technically 13 because you're going to finish out, you know, the top of it. I think it would make a great border. It would definitely make a great strap. It's perfect size for that kind of stuff. Or it is also perfect size if you like a smaller pattern. Like I want some big and small on my couch, so I'm going to do a mix. But if you like smaller, tighter looking things, this is the one for you. And I'm going to hold it up close just so you can see one last time exactly what's going on here. So hopefully you can see how it looks. Ta-da! I like it. Hopefully you do too. I will be working on that, and I will work on a tutorial as soon as I can. And, oh, I dropped it. I am making granny square triangles. It's a weird one to say. So I am making these lovely little triangle granny squares, and I have a long single crochet chain, or it's just a chain, off of all 3 corners of the triangle, because I am using these to support melons. So small watermelons, other types of, like, you know, honeydew and other melons. That is what I am using to support them with. I had seen something, somebody was giving like a tip on, I think, TikTok, and they were talking about how they use bikini tops. But your homegirl right here is not a bikini top kind of girl. I've never even tried on a bikini, to be honest. So I don't own any bikini tops, and I didn't want to go like to the thrift store anywhere and, you know, try to find and buy a bunch of bikini tops. So I said, what can I do? And I thought granny square, and I thought just regular granny square at first, and then I was like, well, I feel like the triangle might be a little bit easier with my particular setup that I have, my very interesting gardening ideas that are going on out there. And so I went with triangle version. I'm sure that someone on YouTube has a tutorial for this. I don't have a tutorial on my channel for it. I don't think it's really needed. I'm sure that there's lots out there. And then you can just add, you know, single crochet. If you have extremely heavy melons, then obviously you're probably going to want to fortify, use maybe a thicker yarn than I did, but it's working great. I have a watermelon that's really going to be too big. It's a bigger triangle that I made for that particular watermelon, but it's going to be too big. I'm going to have to add another, you know, triangle, tie another one up to kind of support the other half of the melon. I think that'll work. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Never grown watermelons before. Never grown anything other than flowers, really. So I'm not a super great green thumb person. But this is working. Cotton would probably be better, but I have a lot of acrylic. I have very little cotton. I do have some, but that's really like for dishcloths and you know, household items that I know that I'm going to make and need. over time. So this is like, it's going to be left out, you know, on a melon for a whole season. I don't think it may not be very salvageable after this. I don't know if I'll get to reuse them. I'm hoping that I can, because I don't like to waste stuff. So I'm hoping I can wash them up and reuse them. But I feel like if I used cotton, they would be disgusting looking, and I wouldn't want to reuse them because they would mold and mildew and stuff so bad. In my mind, that's what would happen. So cotton probably would be better, but I am totally going full scale acrylic and hoping for the best. So, you know, if they're don't work out, I'll have to come up with something next year, you know, for the next set of melons. So I'll tell y'all then if these didn't work out. Now, in this next part, I would like to talk to y'all about, give you kind of like the update, what you can come to expect now going forward here on the channel. Just pretty much had to completely alleviate the stress of this channel being a full-time job. I never realized like how much you could get sucked in and how much time you really do spend creating the content that goes on here. And tutorials are just a whole entire being in themselves with the amount of work that goes into that. And then on top of it, when I started the channel, I never anticipated having any sort of pattern sales, but that really became the, you know, lifeblood of the channel. It's what helps to keep it alive, because that's where you can, you know, make money doing this, is selling those. I didn't know that. You know, at the time I thought you could do this on YouTube and it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't take that much time. You know, it's just an extension of my hobby, but it didn't work out that way. It became a full-time job that just doesn't pay nearly well enough. And so I am going to put out content as I can. I will not be doing a lot of talking videos unless, like I said, they are relevant to it being about crochet and showing something to y'all that is crochet related. I am not going to get into filming a lot of stuff out there. If you knew what my hands are in so much, you would 100% understand why I don't want to be holding my phone. The birds are free and loose and happy, and so setting up tripods is just not an option. Plus, it's a crochet channel, not a garden, farming, homesteading, off-grid channel. So it's not relevant to the channel, so I'm not going to do that. But I will do talking videos anytime I have something to actually show you that relates to what we do here. And then the tutorials will just be slower to come. I am going to do my nails this weekend and work on filming. I'll probably be working on it during the heat part of the day on Monday. My husband is not going to leave the house, the tiny house, for me to film any. There's no way for him to be completely silent. Like, he can breathe too loud for some of y'all. Like, so it's heat advisory time. I'm going to see how that goes on Monday, trying to film this tutorial to put out. That would be for the following week. That's my goal. May not make it. I don't know. I'm taking all the pressure off. I'll do when I do, and I don't when I don't. So, if it is too hot or in here, I can't film, because where I film at is directly in front of the wall AC. There's an AC that's like mounted into the side of the house. And so for the whole 3 years that I regularly produce content, like prior to this, because we've been going on for a while now, when I was producing that content, other than the very beginning videos where I was talking so much, like those first mosaic videos where I like over talked and stuff, I was actually over talking to cover up the sound of the AC. But then I had to stop doing that because it was irritating people, and I understood. I was nervous too, so I mean that wasn't helping any. But once I got my format that y'all have seen for over 2.5 years now, once I developed that same format that I use, that meant the AC was always off when filming. So turning it off and on actually caused it to get like moldy inside because of the condensation. So I can't do that. So when I am filming, AC turns off until I am done filming. So in 110, and this is a metal roof, we ain't filming because I can't be passing out. And I know y'all wouldn't want me to sit there be pouring sweat inside the house, passing out over some crochet tutorials. So I will just, as I can, when I have the availability, I will be filming, and they'll just be slower to come out. So I'm not giving up on the channel. It's just, it is back to straight hobby stance. It can't take over everything. Hopefully that makes sense. I do appreciate you sticking through for the entire video. I love hearing from you guys. I'm still answering comments, questions, and all that on a regular basis. I'm not perfect. I could miss one here and there. I do apologize, but I am still here. I'm still doing things. Just a lot of it is stuff y'all haven't, seen. I haven't shown until right now. But I'll try to be a little bit better about it, but no promises. I am sorry that things are just too busy to do weekly videos at this point. And, once it's all done, maybe I will have a routine that opens me back up, because I certainly know that I would love to be inside in the AC or when it's cold in the heat, crocheting rather than that. Out there, the real work, So thank you for tuning in, and until next time, bye for now.